Did you know that some of the earliest forms of architecture in the world can be traced back to Africa, tens of thousands of years ago? This continent, often misrepresented and misunderstood, holds a vast and diverse architectural heritage that extends far beyond the familiar images of pyramids and mud huts. Join us as we uncover the hidden marvels of African architecture, exploring its ancient roots, regional variations, and profound cultural significance. For millennia, the people of Africa have shaped their environment and expressed their identities through innovative and breathtaking structures. From the earliest rock shelters to the grandest monuments, they have left an indelible mark on the world. In southern Africa, the story begins deep in prehistory. Evidence suggests that humans were modifying caves and rock shelters for habitation as far back as 75,000 years ago. These early dwellings, carved into the very fabric of the earth, represent humanity's first attempts to create shelter and community. But architecture in Africa is so diverse. It is inextricably linked to local materials. Across the continent, people built with whatever the environment provided: mud, adobe, wattle and daub, wood, thatch, stone, and even rock itself. This intimate connection to the land shaped both the forms and the functions of African architecture. No discussion of African architecture could begin without acknowledging ancient Egypt. The achievements of this civilization are truly breathtaking. The Step Pyramid of Djoser, built around 2670 BCE, is a testament to the ingenuity of Imhotep, the architect, and the ambition of Pharaoh Djoser. Even earlier, the pyramids of Giza stand as an eternal symbol of Egyptian power and engineering prowess. The Great Pyramid of Khufu, built around 2580 BCE, remains one of the largest and most impressive structures ever built. Egyptian architects were masters of stone quarrying, large-scale labor organization, astronomical alignment, and temple construction. Their monumental centers, like Memphis, Thebes, Giza, Saqqara, and Abydos, were centers of innovation, culture, and spiritual life. But Egypt was not alone in developing advanced architectural traditions in the Nile Valley. Further south, in what is now Sudan, the ancient Nubian kingdom of Kerma flourished from roughly 2500 to 1500 BCE. And later, the kingdom of Kush established major centers at Napata and Meroe. The Meroitic pyramids, dating from the 3rd century BCE to the 4th century CE, stand as a testament to Nubia's independent architectural vision. Nubian architecture was not simply a derivative of Egyptian styles. It developed its own unique character, influenced by local materials, cultural practices, and religious beliefs. Moving eastward, we arrive in Ethiopia, a land with one of the world's oldest continuous architectural traditions. The Aksumite kingdom, which flourished from the 1st to the 7th centuries CE, left behind a legacy of monumental stelae, palace remains, and elite tombs. Aksumite architects were masters of stone construction, creating impressive structures that reflected the kingdom's power and wealth. But perhaps the most iconic examples of Ethiopian architecture are the churches of Lalibela, carved in the 12th and 13th centuries CE during the reign of King Lalibela. These rock-hewn churches, chiseled directly into the earth, are among the most famous examples of monolithic architecture in the world. They continue to be active sites of worship and pilgrimage, preserving a living ancient tradition. Shifting our attention to southern Africa, we encounter Great Zimbabwe, one of the continent's greatest stone-built cities. Flourishing from the 11th to the 15th centuries CE, Great Zimbabwe is known for its dry stone masonry, massive enclosures, and the iconic conical tower. Built without mortar, these structures demonstrate the skill and ingenuity of the Shona people. Great Zimbabwe was a major political and economic center, linked to Indian Ocean trade networks. Its architecture reflects its wealth, power, and cultural sophistication. Turning westward, we discover the remarkable earthen architecture of West Africa. The Sudano-Sahelian style, characterized by sun-dried mud bricks, timber beams, buttresses, and flat roofs. It spread across areas of what is now Mali, Burkina Faso, Niger, Senegal, northern Ghana, and northern Nigeria. This architectural tradition is deeply rooted in the region's climate and culture. The Great Mosque of Djen in Mali, rebuilt in 1907, is a prime example of Sudano-Sahelian architecture. Its towering minarets and intricate facades are a testament to the skill of local builders. The Larabanga Mosque in Ghana, traditionally dated to the 15th century, is another important example of this style. In Benin and Togo, the Tata Somba fortified homes demonstrate the region's defensive architecture. And in Katsina, Nigeria, the Gobarau minaret, associated with the 15th century, stands as a symbol of Islamic learning and culture. In North Africa, architecture has been shaped by a complex interplay of Islamic, Roman, Byzantine, and earlier indigenous traditions. The Great Mosque of Kairouan in Tunisia, founded in 670 CE and rebuilt in the 9th century, is one of the oldest and most important mosques in the Islamic world. The Ibn Tulun Mosque in Cairo, completed in 879 CE, is another masterpiece of Islamic architecture. Islamic architecture spread across North Africa from the 7th century onward, reshaping urban forms, mosques, madrasas, and domestic compounds. But North African architecture also includes Roman amphitheaters and villas, Coptic Christian buildings, Ottoman-era urban fabrics, and Berber vernacular forms. Moving down the East African coast, we encounter the sophisticated urban architecture of the Swahili city-states. Flourishing from roughly the 10th to the 16th centuries CE, these cities were centers of trade, culture, and Islamic learning. Major sites include Kilwa Kisiwani in Tanzania, Mombasa, Lamu, Zanzibar Stone Town, and Songo Mnara. Built with coral ragstone, lime mortar, and carved wooden doors, Swahili architecture reflects the region's cosmopolitan character. The inner courtyards and multi-story merchant houses signal a wealthy urban culture that was deeply connected to trade. These cities were part of Indian Ocean trade networks, linking Africa, Arabia, Persia, India, and later Europe. The arrival of European colonial powers in Africa brought about radical changes in the continent's cities and landscapes. Colonial architecture introduced forts, administrative compounds, rail stations, cathedrals, and grid plan districts. Architectural influences included Portuguese forts, Dutch colonial forms, British civic and railway architecture, and French boulevard planning. Many colonial city plans prioritized control, surveillance, segregation, and extraction. However, African architecture did not simply disappear during the colonial era. It continued to evolve, adapting to new materials and technologies, and expressing African identities in subtle and powerful ways. Today, contemporary African architecture is a major global force. Modern African architects are increasingly combining local climate-responsive design, sustainability, digital tools, local materials, and cultural symbolism. Notable examples include the Maggie Center in Nairobi by Mass Design Group, the Makako Floating School in Lagos by Kunal Adeyemi, and the Zeitz Museum of Contemporary Art Africa in Cape Town, adapted from a historic grain silo by Heatherwick Studio. The African Renaissance Monument in Dakar, completed in 2010, is a symbol of the continent's renewed pride and ambition. Major civic and cultural projects are underway in Kigali, Abuja, Accra, Cape Town, and Johannesburg, showcasing the dynamism and creativity of African architects. African architecture is a testament to the ingenuity, resilience, and cultural richness of the continent's people. It is not simply about building structures. It is about shaping environments, expressing identities, and creating communities. By exploring the hidden marvels of African architecture, we can gain a deeper understanding of Africa's past, present, and future. From ancient rock dwellings to modern skyscrapers, African architecture continues to inspire and amaze, leaving an indelible mark on the world.